In Chapter 4, you'll learn how writers tie their ideas together. You'll also learn about two kinds of relationships between ideas, addition and time. Here are two items. Which one do you think is easier to read and understand? 1. Most people choose a partner who is about as attractive as themselves. Personality and intelligence affect their choice. 2. Most people choose a partner who is about as attractive as themselves. Moreover, personality and intelligence affect their choice. You probably figured out that the second item is easier to understand. The word moreover, which means also, shows that the writer is adding two more qualities that people look for in romantic partners. Moreover and words like it are called transitions. Transitions are words that show the connections between ideas. They're like bridges that carry the reader from one idea to the next. One way that writers show relationships between ideas is with addition words. Addition words show that a writer is presenting one or more ideas that continue along the same lines of thought as a previous idea. Look at this cartoon. Notice that the white bird gives two reasons for not wanting to marry Henry. First of all, he's too tall for her. The words in addition introduce a second reason: she doesn't like pink. Here are some words that writers use to signal they are adding ideas. 1. First or first of all. Second or secondly. Third or thirdly. To begin with. For one thing. Other, another. Also, in addition. Next, moreover. Further, furthermore. Last or last of all. Final or finally. Addition words are used in a pattern of organization called the list of items pattern. In this pattern, each of the major supporting details is introduced by an addition word. Here's a paragraph that is organized according to the list of items pattern. See if you can pick out the three details that support the main point by looking for the addition words that introduce each detail. Nearly half of the 6 billion people in the world experience one of 3 degrees of poverty. First is extreme poverty, defined by the World Bank as getting by on an income of less than $1 a day, which means that households cannot meet such basic needs for survival as food, clothing, and shelter. Next is moderate poverty, defined as living on $1 to $2 a day, which refers to conditions in which basic needs are met but just barely. Last, relative poverty, defined by a household income level below a given proportion of the national average, means lacking things that the middle class now takes for granted. The paragraph begins with the main idea. Nearly half of the 6 billion people in the world experience one of 3 degrees of poverty. The next 3 sentences go on to describe the 3 degrees of poverty. The transitions first, next, and last each introduce one of the kinds of poverty. A second way that writers show relationships between ideas is with time words. Time words tell us at what point something happened in relation to when something else happened. They help writers organize and make clear the order of events, stages, and steps in a process. Look at this cartoon. Notice that the man describes 4 events in the story. The words first, next, finally, and then tell us when each of the events happened. Here are some other common words that show time. Before, previously, first or first of all, second or secondly, now, later, after, following, when, while, during, as or as soon as, until, often, eventually, last or last of all. A writer will also sometimes show time by using phrases such as in 1991 or other time references such as within a week. Authors usually present events and processes in the order in which they happen, resulting in a pattern of organization known as time order. Each event or step is introduced by a time word. Here's a paragraph that is organized according to time order. See if you can pick out the time words that signal when each stage took place. The first books in the United States were imports brought by the new settlers. Then, in 1638, a press in Cambridge, Massachusetts, printed a book of Psalms that became an instant bestseller. During the years that followed, booksellers emerged in the Boston area, and by 1685, the leading bookseller offered over 3,000 books. Eventually, in 1731, Benjamin Franklin asked 50 subscribers to help him start America's first circulating library. The paragraph describes the stages by which books became common in the new colonies in America. Each stage is signaled by one or more time words. First, then in 1638, during, by 1685, eventually in 1731. To summarize, writers use transitions and patterns of organization to make their ideas clear. Two common patterns of organization are the list of items pattern and the time order pattern. When authors use addition relationships, they present a list or series of reasons, examples, or other details that support an idea. The items have no time order but are listed in whatever order the author prefers. When authors discuss a series of events or steps, they usually present them in the order in which they happen. This results in a time order.